Hi everyone, welcome to Gadgets with Gurman. I'm Mark, and today we have a really cool device. It's Amazon's latest. This is the Amazon Echo Show. It's the Echo with a screen. It has louder speakers, a lot of new features. We'll dive into them all throughout the show, and I'll give my takeaway. But first, if everyone can please send in your questions about this device, we'll answer them throughout the show. We have it hooked up to the monitor back here to give everyone a closer look at the display and the software. So please send in your questions and we'll get to them over the course of the show. We're live on Twitter and Facebook, so you can send them through there. But first, my takeaway. I think all voice speakers of this kind today are not necessities. They're nice additions to your home. They're cool to have, but you don't really need it. Especially the Echo Show. Its display is pretty much like a smartphone or small tablet screen, but a little bit less convenient. But if you're already looking to get a digital speaker with some nice speakers, this, for only $50 more than the regular Echo, it might make a nice addition to your home. So let's dive into it. I've been using this thing in my living room for about a week now, and I like the audio technology. The speakers are nice, and I like asking things such as the weather. I like asking for my news briefing. This actually hooks up to Bloomberg, so you could ask about the market minute to hear what's latest in the stock market right now via the Bloomberg news feed. You can also ask for a restaurant recommendation. So let's dive in with a demo. So Alexa, what's the weather right now?
Currently, in San Francisco, it's 69 degrees with partly sunny skies. Today, you can expect intermittent clouds with a high of 69 degrees and a low of 57 degrees.
And as you can see, obviously, the difference here is that it not only tells you the weather, like the regular Echo would, it would tell you the temperature, it would tell you the forecast, but it could show you. And the neat thing about it is you can see on the monitor, it gives you a forecast for the rest of the week. So it told us Monday, now it's telling us Tuesday through next Monday now. It gives you the high, the low, it gives you a little diagram, the real feel and whatnot, sort of like in the iPhone weather app if you were to scroll through it. So the display does show you some additional information that it would not normally be able to give you in a quick blurb just via voice. So that is a nice addition that does make the screen a little bit helpful. Now, another thing it can do is show you local places. So Alexa, show me the best local restaurants.
Here's info about a few popular ones nearby.
Now, the cool thing about this is it shows you the star ratings and whatnot, and it can't really do that with voice. And you could scroll through that if you wanted to sort of see the different restaurants here. Now, you can click one to get more information about it, right? But the drawback here, even though this does have some video calling and phone calling functionality, you can't call using the Echo Show as a speakerphone to your normal iPhone. So I can't go a step ahead and call this restaurant via my Echo Show as a speaker to maybe make a reservation or call to see the wait or to ask questions about the menu, which is something people normally like to do before they're going to a restaurant. But there is the Alexa skills integration, so you can add OpenTable and whatnot and book a reservation through the Alexa OpenTable skill, and I just alerted Alexa here, but you can't go one step further and make that phone call. And we do have some questions coming in here.
To use the OpenTable skill,
oh, see, it's taking us to the OpenTable skill now. Alexa, go home, and that's how you go home. Question coming in here, are there any AI advances compared to the regular Echo, or is the difference purely in how results answers are displayed? Well, the underlying technology, and I'm going to avoid saying the wake word, not to turn it on during the show, is the same. So it's the same functionality, the same results and whatnot that you get on an Echo Dot, an Echo Tap, a regular Echo, and other devices running Amazon's voice service. But the display does add that element to it, giving you some additional information. And there's some more cool things that the display does, and we'll talk about those over the course of the show. Can you customize its name? Yes, that's a good question. Like the other Echo devices, you can change the name of the wake word between a few different options. You can actually do that in the settings panel. And this thing actually does have a settings menu, so if you were to go to the top, sort of like Android, you can jump into the different settings and then you can choose your wake word. Another question coming in here, if you have the original one, can you trade it in for this one? Well, I know there are a lot of online trade-in programs. I actually traded in an iPad using one the other day. I haven't seen many featuring the Echo devices, but maybe there are a few online. You should take a look around online to see. Worst case scenario, you can maybe sell it and buy this one. Another question coming in here, how is the sound? Does it have camera functionality? Well, to address the first question, the sound is pretty good. It really can fill up a room. It fills up my living room, goes into the kitchen. It sounds far better than the regular Echo, which I've tested in the past as well. It's better than the Google Assistant in terms of sound quality, the Google Home that is, and we'll dive more into that. Does it have camera functionality? That's a very good question, and we'll get to that in a minute. But first, I want to address our first pro tip. Now, one of the best features about voice assistants, whether it's on the Echo, an iPhone, Google Now, Google Assistant on an Android device, or the voice service on Bixby, is the ability to make calendar appointments, right? People like to quickly say, add this event, this doctor's appointment to my calendar at 3 p.m. tomorrow, right? But using an iPhone, you know it's already integrated into all the calendars you have on the phone. You use an Android phone, you know it's already integrated into the Gmail calendars or the Microsoft calendars you have on the phone. But Alexa, here we go again, is not the service that's already connected to calendars. Amazon doesn't have a calendar service that it would naturally connect to. But using the Alexa app on the latest update on an iPhone or Android phone, you can actually choose which calendar you want to connect to. So you can tell the device to connect to an iCloud calendar, which is something new. I know a lot of Apple users watch this show. So if you want to integrate with your iCloud account, you can do that. You can also integrate with Microsoft Outlook or Google Calendar. Now, the neat thing is if you integrate with iCloud, you can tell the Echo to make an appointment, and then it'll show up on the iCloud calendar on your iPhone, Mac, iPad, and Apple Watch, and all your Apple devices. So that's a really cool pro tip for your Apple users. And as you know, this is important because they've added iCloud support, but there's no Apple Music support. And we'll get into that right here. So to answer the earlier question about the sound, the speakers go loud and they sound pretty good, right? There's no Apple Music support. When we asked Amazon about this, they said they'd be open to having Apple Music, but there isn't an API that the Echo can take advantage of. Apple would have to build a skill for the platform in order to integrate with Apple Music, maybe use the display and whatnot, but no, from the get-go, there is no Apple Music. However, there is Pandora integration, Spotify integration, and obviously integration with the Amazon Prime music service, which integrates fairly deeply with this. You can use it like a karaoke machine. So as you're listening to a song, you can follow the lyrics along and it will scroll through as you're listening to a song. So there is tight integration there. And that takes us to our second pro tip. So if you have Apple Music or an app that does not support the Alexa service from the get-go, you can actually use standard Bluetooth protocol to stream your audio from your phone. And you can see this thing popping up right here. It's asking for music search. So it's telling you to look up albums from, Meghan Trainor, right? And if you have Amazon Prime Music or Spotify or whatever, you'd be able to do that. The drawback is if you're using the standard Bluetooth protocol for Apple Music or another unsupported service, you'll solely be able to tell the service to go back a track, forward a track, pause, play, and adjust the volume. So you don't get the deep lyrics integration, you don't get the music search and whatnot, but you do get basic Bluetooth playback, and the speakers, which have Dolby stereo sound, obviously are the same as well. But there is another way to listen to music, and I know a lot of people use music search like this through YouTube, right? So it has really deep YouTube integration. Now I want to show you an example of that. I'm going to play some highlights of Lonzo Ball, the new Lakers point guard. So Alexa, show me videos of Lonzo Ball on YouTube. Alexa, show me videos on YouTube of Lonzo Ball.
Here's what I found from YouTube.
So there you go, and it shows you some clips here, and you can actually scroll through it on the touch screen, and if you want to play a video, you can just say, Alexa, play video number 6. And it will start playing, and obviously you can probably get music videos and other songs on there as well. Now this is really cool, even though it's playing through the speakers. Alexa, go home. As I was saying, even though it's playing through the speakers, it could still hear you say the wake word, and it heard that command, it heard me speak over it. So no matter how loud this is playing, the microphones are actually able to pick up me still saying the wake word to go home. Now, that's what the screen is really good for. You can watch quick music videos, quick videos, and we'll dive into that a little bit further. But the next thing I wanted to show you here is that you can do video calls, right? So video calls are a flagship feature of this device, and actually have another Echo show in the newsroom. My colleague Alex Webb is using one, and let's bring him in here and get his thoughts. So Alexa, call Alex's Echo.
Alex's Echo, right?
Yes. So let's zoom in here on the Echo Show so we can see Alex a little bit more clearly.
What's going on?
Alex!
Greetings from the depths of the Bloomberg newsroom.
Yes, and let's zoom in here so we can see Alex a little bit more closely, whether he likes it or not. And Alex, what do you think of the Echo Show?
I think it's quite impressive. I mean, I remember when we saw the first images, we thought, goodness, what an ugly thing, but it seems to be working very well and quite close to those early ideas that people had about video calling at home and in kitchens and so on. It seems to be very close to that.
Right, and the video quality looks pretty good.
Yeah, it's remarkable, though unfair. I can only see a camera, I can't see you, but
right.
That might be a relief, who knows?
Yeah, and the thing is like with mobile video calling, and this is, just to be clear, this is an Amazon-built service. This is something that can run on the Echo Show and audio only on the older Echoes, as well as on the Alexa app on iPhones and Android phones. But this is not a replacement for Skype, right? Because Skype is pretty ubiquitous, right? So it would have been more interesting if they partnered with someone. And again, you have more flexibility with FaceTime. It's mobile to mobile. Maybe people are not in the Amazon ecosystem. So, but I think this could be useful for intercom, security cameras, and if you have two of them, one in here and one in the newsroom, or one in your bedroom, one in your living room, you want to communicate with people. But that can get pretty expensive. What do you think?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, clearly it's still cheaper than the speaker that, I mean, it's only a speaker that Apple has announced, the HomePod, and is offering a little bit more functionality than that. I think, you know, for people like my parents of a certain age who maybe want more basic features, you know, they're not going to be doing all sorts of crazy things with their smart speaker device. It might be right up their street.
Right, right. Cool. Thanks, Alex, and I'll see you soon.
Cheers.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
And you can end the call by just clicking end, and it'll end. And you can tells you the duration of the call like a normal phone call. So
now connected to Mark's iPhone.
That was to let me know that it has the Bluetooth connection for Apple Music when I use that. But another thing that the screen is useful for is watching video. So besides short YouTube videos, this actually can hook up to Amazon Prime Video. So you can actually stream 2-hour, 3-hour, feature-long films on this thing. I think that that's a cool thing. I feel like if they came out with this device and there was no integration with Amazon Prime Video or other video streaming services, people would ask, where's the video streaming services, right? But at the same time, I don't really think there's anyone who's going to want to spend 2 hours in front of this small device, which is, again, stationary, has to be plugged into power, right? This 7-inch screen would be more useful on a tablet. Obviously, Amazon sells tablets, Apple has their tablets, everyone has tablets now. Watching video on there is portable, you can walk around with it, you can use it on an airplane. I don't think people are going to want to watch full-length movies on this thing. But for short YouTube videos, music videos, and if you're cooking and your hands are tied with flour or something and you want to watch a recipe video, then it's cool, and there's skills for that as well. We have some more questions coming in here. Can you order food? Well, with the skills services, you can potentially have hundreds or thousands of different apps, and ordering food is definitely in there. There's Amazon integration for buying products. So as part of their groceries initiatives and food buying and the delivery initiatives on Amazon's website, that certainly will integrate into this as well in the future. Can you make phone calls? That's a good question. So you cannot use this as a speakerphone. So if, let's say I have my iPhone connected to this and I want to say call Alex, it won't be able to do that through my phone. But if I told it to call Alex through the Alexa service, here we go again, it's going to light up through the Alexa service. It can do that. It can do audio to audio. It can do video to video. If he has the Alexa app on his phone, it'll go audio to audio from there. So it's within that Amazon ecosystem. But I actually do think it's a pretty big drawback that you can't make actual speakerphone calls from the device that you already have in your pocket. But the Google Home has added that functionality. Recently, they announced this at I/O. Another question coming in here, does it have voice recognition? For example, will it know my voice from my husband's voice? That's a very good question. That's something that we know Amazon is working on, but it's to be seen if this is something that is going to come in the near future. I assume so. It's a really big thing. These are not like smartphones in your pockets where everyone has a phone. Chances are you and your husband and your kids and whatnot, they all have their own phones. But these devices, you maybe want 1 or 2 of them in your home for across multiple people, 4, 5, or 6 people. So in order to be attributed to you, it needs to understand your voice. And obviously this is something they would want to get right. So I'm sure they're working on that. I've seen tons of reports about that. Another question coming in here, does Amazon have good repair services like Apple has Apple Care and the Genius Bar? That's a good question. I think Apple's pretty unique in that support system in terms of having a Genius Bar and an Apple Care. Obviously, Amazon and all the other players have warranties, but the ability to go into an Apple store if something is not working well and get it replaced or get it fixed right there, or the easy chat support integration on their website, that's something that Amazon, for now, has not matched. Obviously, Amazon has only been in the consumer tech products game for a few years now. It took Apple some time to get up to speed there. So we'll see as Amazon releases more devices, goes into more places across your life, if they're going to up the ante there in terms of their support offerings as well. Another good question coming in here, and for those just joining us, we are talking about Amazon's Echo Show. It's the touchscreen Echo with louder speakers. It sounds good, but having a display might not be the best option for you. Now, what does it cost? Well, it costs $229, right? That's $50 more than the standard Amazon Echo, which costs $179. And for those watching us today, it's actually on sale right now, the regular Echo, not this one, for $129 on Amazon's website, and I believe that's for today only. How does that compare? Well, the Google Home, they've had a few discounts. I've seen it as low as around $100, $110 over the last few months, but right now it's at the standard price of $130. And of course, how can we do this without bringing up the HomePod that we featured on a previous episode here? The HomePod, $350, comes out in December. Obviously, as we all know, it does not have a screen, and this is a big differentiator, actually having a screen. So it depends if you want a display or not when you compare the two of those. Some more questions coming in here. Does it connect to an Amazon Echo Dot? And following up on that, is there anything this Echo can do, or the regular Echo can do that the Echo Show can't do? Well, to answer the second question first, I don't believe there's anything that the regular Echo can do that this one can't. This one does all the same as the regular Echo, but it does it a bit louder with the better Dolby speakers, the stereo speakers, as well as having that added addition of the screen. What about connecting to the Echo Dot? Of course, you can use an Echo Dot to connect to this as a remote way of using the mic to tap into the Echo Show, or you can use those as intercoms, so you can call from the show to a Dot throughout your home, or vice versa. Now, some more on the competition. Well, the direct competition, like I said, is the HomePod and the regular Echo. And it really comes down to, do you want a screen or not, right? If you want a display, you want the louder speakers, definitely go for the Echo Show over the regular Echo. It's only a $50 price difference, and if you're already someone who wants to invest $180 in a device that's not a necessity, you might as well splurge on the extra $50 in order to get that display and the louder speaker technology. Personally, I don't think the display is a big differentiator in terms of the speaker market in general. I use an iPhone, I have a tablet, I have a TV. If I were home on the couch or in the bed and whatnot, I would probably want to watch a full-length movie or a TV show or a video on a tablet or my phone because of the convenience of being able to walk around with it not being plugged in. This is a big device. It always has to be plugged in, and it has a comparatively small screen compared to tablets or a big television set in the living room. So I think this is a no-go for watching video. For what it's worth, I think it's great for keeping one in the kitchen for watching recipes or the quick video call. But even then, I think the convenience of being able to video call and watch videos on a tablet or a phone is a pretty big thing within itself. So it all comes down to the louder speakers in that case for me. And I do think the speakers are good, and we'll have to see in the fall how that compares head-to-head with the HomePod. And of course, Apple's promise with that is that the audio technology with the virtual surround sound is a big differentiator. Another question coming in here, is the display super nice? Why not just use my iPad? Well, the display is a 7-inch screen. It's about the same size, about the same functionality and clarity as the regular display on an Amazon 7-inch Kindle tablet. Is it super high resolution? Is it Retina-esque? Is it at a high level? Is it really great graphics-wise? No, but it gets the job done for the functionality of the Echo Show for now. And of course, like I was saying, yes, you can just use an iPad or another tablet and hook that up to an Echo Dot or another voice service where you can integrate the Amazon technology. Another question coming in here, what is the worst part about Amazon's Echo products? What do you hope to see updated? Well, I think the display is only touching on the very beginnings of what could be possible. If lots of big developers jump onto this thing and start adding functionality that's unavailable on an iPhone or an iPad or a Google device, a Google Pixel, an Android, or a Samsung, then it becomes a differentiator. In terms of what Amazon is bringing to the table right now, there's not a whole lot new. There's not a whole lot that you can't do on an Amazon tablet or another Echo besides the screen, or an iPhone for that matter. But if developers really push this thing forward, that's as far as it's going to be able to go. In terms of more immediate things that I think Amazon can address, I would like deeper integration with sports. I would like to ask for the score to a game so I can say, how are the Alexa, how are the Lakers doing?
The Lakers are not playing right now. On April 12th, they lost to the Warriors, 109-94.
And if you know me, you know that I don't really like that score and this box score at all, but hopefully Lakers will get a little bit better with Lonzo Ball and Brook Lopez next year. However, it would be really cool if we could go a step further here, right? And this is an ongoing thing, not being able to go a step further and say, why don't we tap into NBA League Pass and see a preview of what's going on in the game right now? If I'm cooking something and I want to ask Alexa the score, and I can see the score, they're maybe going into the fourth quarter, there's a buzzer beater situation potentially, I want to tell the Echo Show to jump into that game and stream it and watch along. If I already want to just see the last minute or two of the game, why not view it on this display? So I think they could also add functionality in terms of getting an Apple Music API and more partners for the music functionality and those skills. Also, as I mentioned a couple times, the lack of a speakerphone connection to a regular phone like an Android phone or an iPhone could be a deal breaker for some people who want to buy these devices as speakers. And that goes across the voice assistants from Amazon. And Google Home notably did add that functionality earlier this year at Google I/O. So I think the Amazon Echo Show is going to go as far as developers take it. But for only $50 more than the regular Echo, if you want the louder speakers and the potential of the screen long term, you might want to take a close look at the Echo Show. This was Gadgets with Gurman. Thank you so much, and we'll see you next time.